Welcome everyone to the first stream of 2023. We're going out on Steam via my personal channel. So if you're on Scraticus, you can move over to the Project OutFox one if you want to. I'm watching it though. If you've got any questions, there's no problems. And yeah, it's pretty much 2 hours of, if you've got questions or you want to know anything specifically about OutFox, what we're doing, why we're doing it. I've got a collection of questions from people that have been asking me over the last week that I've not got back to because mainly I've been a bit lazy. But yeah, if you've got any specific member of the team you want to talk to, there's a couple that aren't here because one of them's having lunch with their granny. We've got one that's, I don't know, yeah, there's a few people around, but you know, you'll get there. I don't know what's going on with Steam. It said on the community thing that we didn't pass, or they're waiting for some routine moderation or something, and we didn't pass that, so I'm not completely sure because it says library visibility pending moderation. So if you missed it or you didn't get the message, I sort of apologize, but I'm not sure where the Valve moderators were for that, so I do apologize because we should have been showing them everything, but we're not. So yeah, bit of a shame, but oh well. It's they give you all these tools and then take them away 10 minutes before you're about to start. But anyways, let's open up. People that are here from the team, if you want to introduce yourselves so folks can know who's on the call, and then we can start and go through what we've been doing the last 6 months.
Yeah, I guess I'll start. Hey, hello everyone, it's Jose. I'm the one leading the theme development for almost every single game mode for the Alpha 5 thing. And in my area, I'm going to be talking about updates that have been going on the themes, and also changes related with the online system and how that's going as well, as that is also now in testing as well, and also specific changes that have happened in the macOS version.
Okay, next.
Guess I'll
Me?
go.
Oh, Cube.
Just so you go.
Yeah, you go, Cube.
Okay. Hey, this is Cube. I've mostly just been focused on the online aspect of the game and the server side, and I've been working with Jose on getting that integrated into the theme. We made a bunch of progress, and we're getting ready to start doing some actual player testing there.
So I guess I go now?
Yeah.
I'm Jousway or Zebbo, however you want to call me. I mostly do back-end development, sometimes streaming and other stuff. Sometimes no skins, where most people still remember me from. But we've been changing quite a lot in Alpha 5, and it's going to be cool.
Can I go next?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Lirodon. I've mainly been working on the branding of OutFox, but I've also been working on some of the themes. I did a lot of the UI design mock-ups for the new themes that you'll be seeing in Alpha V, including the dance theme that you can see right here, mainly in collaboration with Jose and other team members.
Okay. And I'm Scrat or Squirrel, whatever you want to call me. Most people just, I guess, I'm the gopher of the community. I do all the community stuff. We've got bits and pieces that happen on social, but pretty much everything else, all the Steam building, Steam looking after Steam, depot, community, questions, admin, releases, community monitoring, it's all good fun, but it's a bit draining sometimes. But otherwise, yeah, it's all right. I guess I'm joint project leader with Joust and Cube, so we sort of have a three-way leadership thing going on, so it's not all on me, which is quite comfortable. So we'll do a quick update. We'll let the team. I'll let the team go through bits and pieces they've worked on over the last 6 months. We've been delayed quite considerably, mainly due to operating system updates, and there's been some pretty big changes with compatibility because we're using cutting edge bits and pieces on some aspects of our libraries internally within the game, and also Valve deciding to update stuff without telling us. It's meant that 4.19 has been delayed for quite a while, and we've got out a couple of Alpha 5 builds, but yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. But anyways, I'll hand back over to Jose. Can start then, and gives me a chance to get a drink of water. There you go.
Before I start with changes, I would like to let you know that if you have questions, you can put them in the Twitch chat, or you can also put them in the Ask a Question channel in our Discord, or in the relaxing chat channel as well, as we are in the voice chat right there in our Discord server. In case you have any questions to say it, we'll be looking through them as we go along. So let's start with the changes that have been going on related with my area, and I want to start mainly with the engine first. It's basically the area that we've been doing the most stuff in. Essentially, in the area that I deal with most of the themes, and I also deal with mostly macOS related elements or gameplay visual related elements. And since the last stream to today, there have been changes to themes, specifically redesigns of the Alpha 5 theme, and also work on the BMS theme, on the BMO theme, and also the Tai Tai theme, and also the Pomo theme as well. Also changes to the dancing character system as well, that is now being integrated into the engine as well. And also networking, as Cube mentioned, as we are getting that along for the initial testing as we're getting. As you can probably notice from Squirrel's screen right now on the stream, we basically have a new version of the Alpha 5 thing going along. That is, as we mentioned before, it's meant to be a mix of touch and keyboard layout compatibility. And there has been changes, mostly quality of life stuff recently, and also layout changes as well. Considering the feedback that we've gotten ever since we had the playtesting online on Steam, which has been very, very wonderful for getting feedback, which I would like to thank you all for giving feedback for the theme these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's
So
been
I've gotten a
hardcore
lot going
there.
on. And as you can see right now, we also have now a toggle for OutFox Online, which is going to be our online system here. Along with Cube, we've been making the system going along for visualizing this in the theme. You have the button here. You can also toggle it with the keyboard, but that's yet to be implemented. So right now, use with a mouse. You can connect that automatically as well with a preference. We do it by default. We do it off. You can ask her about that later. And if you actually go to the select music screen now, you'll notice that every time you now perform a selection of any song that you want to go along, you can see that now you have access to stuff like leaderboards per individual song and other items as well. So you have, for example, leaderboards for each timing mode window that is available in the game internally, which are calculated by the server, not the engine, to prevent tampering. Cube can actually explain that a little bit if you want to go do that right now, or should I continue on with my explanation?
I'll continue on, then I'll go into the details and how it works.
All right, so there's that explanation. There's also a pseudo rival system also implemented in the theme side right now that you can play with. So if you have an existing a song that already has existing scores, you can actually just click through one of the names that you want to battle with, and you can track progress as to how much you need to beat that score. We may expand it later on, but we still need to get the core finished for that. That as well. In bug fixes for the theme, such as speed mod integrations and dancing stages to be added in here as well. A better layout for profiles, and also work on a initial setup screen for those first-time users, which it's not going to be shown here right now. I'm going to have to tell Squirrel the command to enter it because it's for the first-time users, but it will be shown later. What else did I do? Oh yeah, node field changes as well. That node field changes in particular. There has been fixes on that as well. A lot of people complained that the node field wasn't showing correctly upon toggling of songs in and out, or sometimes even when generating the node field for the first time, when restarting the game and entering. That has been fixed. It turned out to be a state of it not being initialized uh, in time. So that's also been fixed. And there's also the looping of notes. So if you let your song go through the entire preview audio and went back to it, that also has been fixed because it didn't actually reset all of the notes back through, given the changes we did for a future game mode that we're planning on, and the code didn't allow it for it. So that's also been fixed. That would be it for now. If anyone else would like to give their own changes.
I can jump into like where we are with the network status stuff now.
There you go.
Okay. All right, so right now what we do is we have a way for users to create a profile, and the process is you type in your email, you get an email, you register, and then you get a token that you can then link your profile. After that, once you connect, you can click the Connect Online button, play, you can actually load all the leaderboards for every song. And what's really neat about the way we implemented this is even if you have charts that are mixed in different folders, because some people mix and match stuff, or charts copy pasted somewhere else, we actually like calculate a key based off the actual chart data. So even if you have a chart mixed with other stuff, you'll still get all of the correct scores if they're in different folders in different packs. So that's like a really, it's always plagued Stepmania and us for a long time, is just when you move stuff around, your scores are no longer there. So we were able to come up with a solution for that for the online play, which is really cool. Another thing is, maybe you or your friends play on different timing modes. Maybe, some people play ITG or the original Stepmania or DDR timings. What's cool is the server will actually take all of the offset data from your play and calculate it all server side and give you the appropriate scoring for all of those different versions. And so even if you play like J6 or J8 or J1, like it doesn't matter because you'll still have a consistent scoring on the server side, so you can actually still rival people correctly. You don't have to worry about score tampering and stuff. Back in the day, we did something similar with SMO, but it wasn't as reliable. And so what we've done now is much, much more reliable, and it's really cool. I really like it. And we also, one of the reasons this has taken us a long time to do, specifically me, my part is we had to do this completely universal too. We support a lot of game modes, so it's pretty easy to make just something for Just Dance or Just Pump or something, but we're trying to make something that works on every game mode. So we've put all of our focus into the server-side implementation, making sure that things will work in different game modes correctly, and it's universal. So the things to do in the future is the actual front end for it. Right now, we don't really have like a website showcasing leaderboards. Everything is in the engine in the game. So if you're looking at, your high scores, other people's high scores and stuff, it's going to be, per song in the game. But in the future, soon, we'll start, Liro's already started on design work, and then we're going to start implementing a front end for this. And that's kind of where we're at right now. There's a few quality of life things that we're looking to add. Squirrel actually had just like, user tests like didn't really have any experience, and where were the areas that could have been easier and more streamlined. And so we're going to use feedback like that, and once we start opening up this to play testing, we'll start implementing that feedback and make it much easier and more simple. Do we take a shot every time soon is mentioned? Oh, thanks, Word. Sure, go for it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much covered. Any questions throughout that, you can ask now or later. But yeah, who would be next?
I think we probably should have a drinking game later on to see how many times we say soon.
Or anytime someone asks the one question.
Oh no, that's a bottle of scotch question, that one. But anyways,
Yeah, I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
So
I'm pretty sure we
Go
don't
on.
operate on Valve time, although it feels like we do sometimes.
well, I think their moderators today are, because we're still not being reviewed on our event, which I posted like 5 days ago. It's like it says it's meant to be done within an hour, and it's like, okay, we're definitely on Half-Life 3 time there.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention some of the stuff that Jose and I were working back and forth, and he would have ideas, and so I'd like implement the API side for it. And one of the really cool things he did is when you're in the eval screen, and you see a list of top scores, and you can be on any timing mode. It's going to be that timing mode of high scores, but you can actually click on one of those and load the other user's offset data, and it'll actually show their offset graph, and you can compare it. Like, that was one of the cool things that we did too.
Okay, Jose, Joust, do you want to list out stuff, or are you here? Are you AFK?
I'm here. I just
so enthused,
Yeah, I just don't know what I need to talk about. I do so much stuff every single day. I just forget half the stuff I did.
Yeah, obviously we're all slave drivers. Sorry, guys. We treat Joust like crap. So
No, it's not like that. I'm just so focused in this game. I'm just so excited about adding stuff. I just see some person saying, "Hey, this could be added to the game." I'm like, "Hey, yeah, it could," and I just write it in like half an hour, and then I just forget about it like a week later.
yeah, and I don't record everything in changelogs at all, do I?
You do. So let's see, what have I been working on? Well, I've been working on, on that. I've been working on modifying the whole player option system, so it's a lot easier and more streamlined and easy to use. I've also written a shader manager, so we have a better management system for shaders. Let's see, what else did I do that was really big? I honestly don't remember. Scroll, help me here, please.
You're terrible at speaking, aren't you?
I know, I'm terrible at speaking.
Well,
really am.
we've edited a lot of the shader manager enabled the modding effects, the changes that Mr. That Kid's been able to do with modding. We've added newer functions for Lua. We've fixed a load of bugs in the engine. They're more specifically for us than other forks, I guess, or Stepmania itself, because with us being focused on wider games, we're not just like bound by just the dance paradigm. And also there's been lots of stuff that he's been implementing with new scorekeeper that's coming. He's simplifying the player options, or poptions as we call it, net system, to be a lot faster with the next selection of mods that are going to be coming up. So we're going to be adding a lot more column specific and note specific modifiers, so you can do even more crazy effects. We've done platform specific upgrades and things like that as well. I don't know, you know, it takes 10 seconds to look at, you know, committed by yourself and talking about it. I don't want to be like just talking all the time on these. It makes, you know, I hate the sound of my voice when I watch them later, especially when I've got a cold. But anyways, on my side, yeah, like Jouse, I tend to do engine stuff. I tend to work more specifically on the engine rather than it's visible, you know, the lure or anything like that. So I don't get to delve too deep down the rabbit hole that Joust does. But I look at profile data, I look at ways of optimization, and I tend to rip out entire chunks and replace them, and then Joust fixes them later. I tend to code a bit too old-fashioned, so Joust doesn't like it. Do you, mate?
Only in mine is just it sometimes can be done a bit more streamlined.
Well, it's still compiled the same bloody way. I've actually checked some of the stuff, and it's still, the optimizer still does it. But yeah, it's fine. And yeah, you know, that's me in a nutshell. What have I done? Added some new drivers, added some new input drivers, added some stuff for the frame buffer, so active screen textures work, which is a sort of an SM5 version of what NIGG have. I don't know, what else? New sound drivers. I don't know, it's just, yeah, you're sort of like trying to encapsulate what you do over the last 6 months into a small amount of, like, couple of sentences. It's pretty hard. Lots of optimizations. We were lucky enough to get some assistance from another company that allowed us access to some hardware profilers that gave us some incredible performance boosts in optimizing the game, which was great. And yeah, we're just looking at making the game better for each of the individual modes moving forward. So it's doing all right. So I guess that's pretty much where we're at, aren't we? Because Kid's not here to talk about all the mod stuff, is he? So
no.
He's having lunch with his grandmama. And but yeah, if you've got questions, do honestly start writing them down in the stream chat, or I've got, as I said, I've got my own chat open to the single viewer that's there. Thank you. But yeah, as I said, we're not visible on Steam, so the fact that this was an actual Steam event and then we don't get cleared moderation, it's just great, isn't it? You can't make this up. But right, yeah, if you've got questions for us, we haven't done one for probably a year. What is it, a year and a half?
Yeah.
Is it a year and a half? It's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you've got any questions at all, you are open to throw them at us, and you know, obviously there may be times what questions that we can't answer, or you already know the answer to, but we'll try our best. So do write them in. I have a collection of questions already, so we're not like you know, sitting here in silence while we wait for our viewers to write some. I don't think we've got any. Is anyone else or people writing it? No. Oh, okay. Oh, editor questions. Jose can answer those.
Yeah, it's questions because of the layout from the older version.
Ah, okay, cool. All right, so will Alpha 5 be available as packages on Ubuntu and other Linux packages? Yes, we plan to open up a repo on Ubuntu Arch, probably Gentoo. We're still deciding on Fedora because their maintainers have got an interesting view on things, namely, you know, linking with different versions and stuff like that. So but yeah, we're currently just investigating any of the new quirks that have just come out with Lobster for Ubuntu. So I've been looking at that today. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, we are gonna, we're not going to go the cheap way of like flat packing it. We'll properly like make sure that there's a repo that you guys can pull from, and it will just install the game as needed. Obviously, if you're not using Steam, and then we'll also open up ARM support as well, because at the moment Steam, although it supports ARM, because I've got it on my Pi, it doesn't really give you any option to install any ARM-based games, which is a bit of a shame, really. It's a missed market, especially with the number of ARM devices that are out there. It's allowing RetroPie to steal everything. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. In honesty, I don't know why they've not bothered to take their time and actually like get stuff. Yeah, we've tried to make the game as compatible as possible. There's like optimizations and things that we can do, but obviously it's not the easiest to optimize, and for everyone's specific machine. So it's sort of why we have so many bloody builds at the moment. But yeah, going forward we'll look at repoing and optimizing support and things like that. But yeah. So let me put a song on in the background rather than you just sitting in there looking at the music wheel, I guess. Got any other questions so far, or shall I start reading from my big wedge? That's not coming through on the stream, is it? Or is it? I think it is, isn't it?
It's not.
Well, the game audio is not coming through.
No.
Good. I need to turn it down though, 'cause it's loud.
Got a question about karaoke mode.
Is there plans to develop a karaoke mode? Well, a fellow karaoke enjoyer, yes. I can actually sort of show you as we have it here. I can tell you that Jouse and I are in the process of working on getting it into the game. So we've so far we have created the TXT support, which runs from Ultrastar. That works fine. We've got the note field initially designed, because it's going to be slightly different, obviously, than a working SM5 style game, but it's horizontal in a way, so it's okay. And I've also added some extra metadata to the song data, because obviously there's like different editions of the song. There's the base language, year, when it was last updated by the charter, and comments that are expected on Ultrastar. So we've done that, and then we also added some bits and pieces for the beginnings of microphone input as well via port audio, which will do a pitch to MIDI note, which will be your scoring. It's a little bit more accurate and less stressful than trying to do it the way where you literally scan and skew every multiple pitch direction. So yeah. So I played a game and ended up showing you our bloody Git repo. But yeah, so that's literally what's happening with karaoke. There'll probably be a test build that will support it in a couple of months, because we've got to design the note field first. And I think, Jouse, did you want to comment on how crap the lyric system is in Stepmania?
Oh, the one we have right now is just the times are wrong. It's just at the bottom of the screen or the top of the screen if you play in reverse. It's terrible. It just sometimes blends into the background. It's very limited. It's no. That's the one we have currently, but we're gonna make a way better one.
Yeah, and on top of that as well, we're going to add VTT support for lyrics, specifically for Taiko mode, Tai mode, which will enable more support for normal. Yes, the new lyric system. I can actually, again, I'm gonna I start a song and I'm gonna be cutting out of it. So we've already got the classes ready. So the new system that we're going to have. So this is the VTT parser for lyrics loader, and we've got SSA for Space Substation Alpha subtitle format. We have SRT for standard subtitles, and the classic LRC, which is the one that's built into Stepmania at the moment. So yeah, all modes will celebrate being updated for that. So yeah, we've been listening to the community, because obviously OutFox isn't really there as a project to sort of destroy or take out communities. It's there to supplement. We're there more to provide another option or another view to play a mode or play a game, and it's just the way that we work. It's we don't want to take over and be the one thing that rules them all. We're not the Run Ring of Mordor, but it's more of just giving other people options, and folks who have an older system or have an operating system that's not supported by the main simulator or things like that. And indeed, it's a case of you'll have to come into our server, Nico, and link me that so we can have a look at it. Yeah, for sure. I actually also want to do proper word detection as well, because there's a really good library out there that was made for speech recognition. Because one thing that has been requested a lot by folk when they have the speech break parts of notes. So rather than just measuring a particular pitch or a particular pressure of sound, which gives you the score in most games, we could actually detect what the actual spoken word is, and then score it based off if you're actually rapping or if you're speaking the lyrics. So there's a potential option there for like a pro mode, which allows you for then to measure where your pitch and key are. And you could even, there's potential later on, which is something that we've sort of joked around about at the moment, for talking about actually using it as a trainer. So some of these modes can actually be set up for training, so you can learn and teach yourself how to play the drums or play the piano or sing, or there's lots of options available in the engine now, so it's pretty cool. So, but yeah, definitely come into the server, into our Discord, and we can, if you're not in already, and give us a poke. But yeah, it's really cool. We've sort of given ourselves an awful lot. Is that the sixth? Is that Pro Guitar? Is that the sixth? Is that the 6-string one? Is that the 6-button one?
Pro Guitar. What do you mean with that? There's Live. Live is the 6th one.
Life's 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the word detection one would require probably the user selecting quite a few settings, because we'd have to download, obviously, the database that would then support that person. But yeah, Rock Band's got pitch and key specific inputs. Yeah, it's just a case of like, but the problem is with Rock Band, when I remember playing it, you could just go la 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 at different pitches and you scored. So
Yep.
I don't really want it. I don't want it to be fudged or sugared over. I don't want to. I don't want you to cheese it. So offering a better option than you know, the generic systems that's out there. I've got to just double check on like what we can buffer and, you know, how much system, with us optimizing the engine as much as we have, we probably have got a little bit of leeway. So I think we've got plenty of buffer time to check. Rock Band Pro guitar is a lot like Rocksmith, playing on a real guitar with the fret number like tabs. Oh yeah, we support. There's no reason for us not to support instrument in. That would be just a case of we'd have to use port audio for that, because that's got a much better input system for instruments, because it can get rid of the ground loop if there's a ground loop hum, due to obviously there being an instrument plugged in on the motherboard. Port audio has a much superior system on Linux and Mac for that. RT audio's better on input for Windows. It's a bit weird because we've got to cut between like a couple of different base libraries, so it's rest assured though we'll make sure there's a solution for each operating system. But I do want to ensure that, you know, the first person that plugs in a guitar into a Raspberry Pi has to photo it, because I need to see that, because that'd just be hilarious. Game audio is quite low at the moment. I know. I'm talking. Why do you want to hear the game? I'm just leaving stuff playing in the background, so. But indeed, it's a case of we're just working on things to give you guys more choice, so it's a lot easier for you to, you know, go crazy with bits and pieces later on. That's the whole point of this project. It's make sure that, you know, there's an engine out there that people can just build on and mess around with later. Right, have we got any more questions there, or are they still thinking up some new ones? Let me just check Steam. Hold on. I don't think we've even cleared the queue, unfortunately. Oh no, they've only 38 minutes late, but they've done it for us. We're now publicly visible on Steam. I'm happy. But the broadcast stuff doesn't work, which is hilarious. But it's all good. It's all good, I guess. And I'm new to the Steam stuff as well, so I apologise if anyone missed. I'll make sure that the VOD is put up, because that's deliberately why, if you've noticed, I'm focusing around the Serenity packs, because they're not going to get us in trouble with the VOD. So yeah, let me just make sure this is actually working now. Live now, and still not showing the developer, are you? No, okay, it's because I'm obviously a scrub. Oh well, yeah, I'm a scrub. It's fine. I just have to own it, I guess. Alright, anyways, so have you guys got any have we got any questions in server, or are we well, we support MIDI anyway. MIDI's not really a thing. Ah, thanks, Nico. Yeah, I see your post. Yeah, I want to have a couple of different pitch detection options, so just to make it more interesting, you know how it is. Right. Well, I'll answer some of the questions that I've got built up in my inbox then. All right. So this one, I guess, would be more for Cube, as it's an online So the question is, it's from a XX Sassy XX, I think his name is. I don't know. I don't know these weird people. Basically, they were asking how is the rivaling system going to be done on the leaderboards? Is it going to be where you can select a couple of rivals to display on your theme, a bit like how Simply Love does it with ITL, or is there going to be a little bit more of a similar tracking system where the online platform can look at players with similar levels or that complete similar difficulties or something like that? Is there any planning ahead for that sort of thing?
So currently, as it stands, is as you load a song and you see the leaderboard, you can click any person to be a temporary rival for that particular song. That is how it is right now. In the future, the plan is you would select your rival or rivals on like the web UI, for example, and then you could have basically as you're playing your plus or minus, like how far you are above or below them in the middle of your song, and you can compare instead of just comparing score, right now you can actually compare like number of excellence, number of greats, and see the offsets of each other. And so ideally it will have multiple rival systems similar to like EMUs would be, where you can select like 2DX, for example. I think you can have like 4 rivals. So you can just have a few rivals, and they would be per game mode. So right now, if you're playing dance, you'd have your dance rivals. If you're playing pump, you'd have your pump rivals. Like they would be separate. So even though you can have one unified profile for all those, but you'd still have separate options, like separate player options and separate rivals, separate scores, of course, for the different game modes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Another thing about the online system we forgot to mention was the actual settings. The profile settings are saved and loaded as well. So if your local profile didn't have if it was set to like the default 1x or something, or some theme overridden or something, like the actual settings, like your M500 or whatever you use, would load. Okay, that's it.
Okay, and just while you're still here, then I'll give you the second question. I'm not going to read out all these weird names. Another user, basically, they asked about replay and ghost data. Will you be able to load up Rivals player 2 as a player 2 and have them like next door to you as you're doing your sprint?
So we absolutely can do that. Right now we have the data to do that, because we actually store every single offset that for every single song submitted. So not only could you, we just need to implement that into the theme. We, as in probably Jose. So once we have that implemented, we could even do stuff like, let's say they played. I'm looking at him playing dance right now, so I'm focused on dance. But let's say they were playing DDR ace timings, but you play ITG or FA plus. You can actually rival them, look and have them as player 2 with whatever timing mode you were playing with. So it's actually comparable. That's always been a problem right now, is people play on different type of dance games and it's hard to compare scores. So now we have a way to do that.
Okay.
And holy game modes.
Mm?
That holy game modes list.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of ones that we've got that aren't going to get the stream into trouble. I know Take is okay to play, so we can look at that. Why is it not switched to? Shouldn't be using the dance theme because it's not supported, is it? It's just going to crash on me. All right, question for Jouse. Are there any plans on supporting 3.9 era note skins, as you are the note skins guru? what can people do with 3.9 era stuff to transfer it across to SM5 OutFox?
I don't really want to support 3.9 node skins. I'd rather port them because the 3.9 node skin system is just terrible. I mean, we could enable a legacy mode that would enable them in the engine, but they just have so many bad practices. And our engine is just so much more versatile to compare with 3.9 does, because 3.9 has a lot of bad practices in their node skins.
Okay, that's good. And do you recommend that we? I suppose we should probably do a tutorial or something for them, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something I'll do. I'll make a note of that. Okay, another question for the Juice. How are the poptions coming along for modders? How long do you think it's going to take before we'll have all the mods? You can probably guess who asked that question.
Who was a kid?
No.
I just got here.
So basically, the question's quite long, but it's actually like it repeats itself a few times. But basically, they're really interested into seeing note mod specific stuff. So actions per note, and obviously that's the question of they're just like asking when is it going to be available, and obviously, as we know, it's a poptions thing.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys answer that one.
Do we still need to profile that branch?
Yeah.
Oh, profile will be done. Yeah, that's no worries. But
I think we just need to do the little bit of optimization and just the
I think it's mostly there. There's just some small things that it needs fixing up.
yeah.
there you go. This is the cool thing as well. We actually had to change the parser. Joust had to fix the parser for all these bloody emoticons. Okay, Pomu question for me, I guess, because I guess I'm the guardian of Pomu. When are we fixing total and ranking? I guess that well, it's more an us question, Joust, I think.
Yeah.
So total and rank will be fixed for Popper mode or Pomu mode and BMU mode, which is the BMS, our main BMS player. The low latency audio for the key sounds is installed. You can see the RT part here, which means real time. But indeed, we've got to make sure that we take our time on doing it properly. So the new scoring systems that will be separated from the DDR stuff of the past will come in. We're doing a new scorekeeper module, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we can actually just do proper based ones that way.
Yep.
So we can do that, and that's what we'll do. So we can separate each mode from being tied into dance, because at the moment everything in the engine, even though initially it was designed to be a multi-platform engine with different game modes, over time a lot of the other stuff has been stripped out because obviously focus was on DDR and ITG. So to stop breaking the compatibility with that specific system, we're going to add a system alongside it, which will make life a lot easier. So, and the reason I'm not playing this is because 1, I don't have my pop-in controller on. 2, my hands are broken, and 3, I like
That
looking
looks
at
like you will
pretty...
break your arms and hands.
I die like about just before the first crazy part here on the eye. Like if you're looking at the stream where I'm waving my mouse, I don't get very far into it. I need the robot devil's hands from Futurama that can just play everything. But indeed, it's a case of there's lots of little functions. The miss function as well. The extra background layers that are available. The engine actually supports them. We've coded them in quite a while ago, but again, we're waiting on the completion of the themes for these 2 modes to ensure that they're done to the correct standard that people expect. That's why, if you notice, we're back to sound waves from Alpha 4, which is the fallback. So I'll be so happy when we actually don't need this theme for fallback anymore. But it is what it is at the minute. You know, a lot of our modes are proof of concept rather than a fully playable version, and that's what we want to change. Okay, so that was total rank and scorekeeper. So, Kid, quick question for you.
Yeah.
When are you gonna be streaming more porting?
I want to at some point. I want to get back into doing that.
Do it now.
And are you going to be doing any tutorial stuff for the wiki, like what we're going to be doing with the other bits and pieces?
I probably should write tutorials.
Well, if you just write them stuff down, I can make it into something that's fun for people to use. Like I can do like e-learning and stuff like that.
Mm.
Okay, so modding tutorials. We probably should look at doing theming ones as well, I guess. So we can do that as well, can't we? All right. Has any of you guys got any more questions? Have we had any questions anywhere else, or shall I carry on reading from my pile? Don't think we've had any more questions from anywhere, have we?
No.
No? You are free to ask questions, guys. It is an AMA, so honestly. So, silly question for, obviously, as these are an AMA. Favourite fruit juice? Cube, go.
Fuck, lemonade or pomegranate or black cherry.
Lemonade isn't a juice, is it? You can't juice a lemonade bottle.
Oh,
You like the
shit, lemon.
Sweet taste.
Lemon.
Sweet
sorry.
taste of polyethylene.
Touche, touche. Lemon. Pure lemon. Lemon.
Give me some of that
nothing else.
polyethylene. So lemon. All right. Okay. Jose.
Orange.
Okay. Kid.
Apple.
Jouse.
Orange.
I don't even know if Lero's here.
Is he? He's probably okay again.
Silence
I think
is
you're gone,
very
mate.
reassuring.
He's gone again, as always.
Dang.
That guy. And my favourite juice actually is pomegranate. of all
Pomegranate.
things.
Hell yeah.
Shall I do another silly one, or shall we do some serious ones?
Let's do another silly one.
Okay. Favourite pet?
Cat.
Cube? What would be your favourite type of pet to have?
The ones I already have, like my cats and my dogs.
Obviously, the people viewing know your, you know. It's okay. I'll just send them your home address so they can come round and view the pets. Yeah.
Yeah, my cats and my dogs. I have two
What
cats, two
breed?
dogs.
Yeah.
I have two house cats, like Tabby, and the other one's just like a little black cat, a little tuxedo
Okay.
cat, and then I have a husky and a shepherd mix.
Cool. Okay, Jose.
I'm a madman who likes chihuahuas, so.
Really?
I like them.
Why
in
do you think I
tacos
have
as well,
3
actually.
of them?
I like chihuahuas and tacos.
Yeah, same. Well, there's only a lot of meat on them. I'd rather have them kicked over a wall.
Oh,
Okay, kid.
I like Siamese mixes for cats.
And your Roomba as well, I guess.
It's from Buzz's cat. God damn, it's cool.
Jouse, what's your favourite pet?
Cat.
What kind of cat?
Every cat. Cats are cute. Screw the world. Cats only.
And I guess Lero's back here. What's your favourite type of pet, Lero?
I don't really have any pets at home,
Pony.
though I would agree that cats are cute.
It's probably Pony.
No cat.
And
Okay.
mine, well, my favourite pet of all time would be a fennec fox
Yeah.
that we had until she passed away of old age. She lived a long 12 and a half years.
Mhm.
And I love my kitties. And we have a tortoiseshell tabby, which is pretty cool. And I have like, I guess we sort of have a joke, but I've got like 2 red foxes that live in the garden, in the back garden, because our garden's huge and we're on the edge of a massive park, so they tend to like crash there during the day when there's lots of people on the park or the forest ground. So they just chill in ours and our neighbours' back gardens just to rest, which is also pretty cool. So I consider wild foxes to be like pets as well. All right, let's do a seriousy question. Let's have a look. It is a sound question. When are we having configurable options in the theme for video and audio? I guess that's a Jose question.
Oh yeah. Well, so at this point, are we actually finalized with the RT audio stuff, or does that still need tweaks?
No, the configuration side's done.
All right, then I can actually start adding them. Yeah, because the thing about RT audio is that it's actually going to allow us to have options be changed in real time, so no need to restart the whole game and stuff. It can just be done in there. So, yeah, there's gonna be a new page to configure these kinds of options in the sound options.
Okay, cool. Remember, if you're viewing on Twitchy or on Steam, feel free to drop us a question. It's an AMA. You've got another hour and a bit, or until the questions dry up, really. Feel free, ask us anything. It can be silly or they can be serious, whatever you fancy. And if you're in a Discord, you can do the same. I guess we didn't make the grade. My God, yeah, we never got the hour review. Ah well. All right. Hold on, people bloody messaging me. I guess this is a all team question. Do we have any other modes that we're planning?
Many.
There are a few.
All of them.
All of them. Wow.
I remember
we need
someone
a
was asking about Waka,
Waka.
because I guess
Should
that
never-
game's technically dead, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
they've taken it offline now.
Oh, it's a shame.
What about
Yeah.
features for games that we already support that are in the works?
Like what?
Like new note types and stuff. I know there was.
Oh yeah, we've got all the. You can talk about all the fake note
Good,
types we've got.
good. So we had that one note type someone was talking about back in the day, the heal mines.
The heal mines. What's the
Those-
heal? Oh, you step on them, they heal you.
Yeah, that's what those. Those are the heal mines. Remember that cube? The guy kept talking about it? In the old IRC days? Jose probably remembers.
I mean,
The
why
heal
not?
mine.
Why not?
That's it, the heal mines.
That's such a
jo-
yeah.
jokes
Like instead
aside,
of calling it life.
jokes aside,
Potions.
I was actually thinking about adding a heal mine, but then for battery mode, so people can make charts based on battery mode. So you can set like you have 3 lives, and if you hit a note, you will lose a life. But then there are parts in the song like a stream shortage or cooldown or whatever you have an easier part where you can hit the heal mines or whatever we're gonna call them, life mines, where it will give you a battery life again.
Maybe just potions.
Should we do potions? Should we call them potions?
Yes.
You don't like heal
Well,
mines?
that's what they were called a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So-
even in Pump It Up missions, like they still have potions to restore life. I mean, that's pretty standard name for life restoring items, I would say.
So we make a whole Dungeons and Dragons game mode with potions and spells and everything.
Yeah.
Finally, the OutFox RPG we've all been asking for.
I'm not sure. I don't know if we want to do that.
No.
Fuel mines. But there was another like a new role type that I saw. Jose was working on the front end side of it, and I think Josue did the back end of it already. I don't know if you wanted to.
New role.
Which roll?
Was it the one where you have to like tap a certain number of times?
Oh, count the.
Yes.
Those are the count holds.
Mm-hmm.
It should
Well,
work.
they were for balloons, weren't they? For tie mode.
Well,
Yeah, they were
for
originally
everything.
for balloons. It's
Oh,
just
that's
that
balloons.
they need a design for the dance notes.
Yeah.
Because I know that's actually been requested from SMX community, of course.
Mm.
Yeah, they want the count, the note count, the count, note count thing. Definitely do.
And then everything can be a fake now. That was pretty new, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can now set nodes to be a fake group type. So regardless of the node node type, if it's a node, if it's a mine, if it's a hold, roll, or whatever the mine you're thinking about, you can set that as a fake and it'll be treated as a fake.
Because we have subgroups.
Indeed. What else? What else have we done? It's so bloody much.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to do like a video, just like focus on each mode, and then what have we done in the last 3 years on this mode, and then we can just sort of give a feature.
Too much to
view.
remember.
Yeah,
I was talking to people yesterday. They didn't even know we were on Steam. So
Yes, because we suck as we're programmers, not social media engineers.
and we haven't had one of these in a long time.
And yes, that's the other thing. A lot of people have been.
In our minds,
Telling-
it's like what's changed over the last month, but it's really what's changed over the last year and a half, and that list is very large.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening, doesn't it?
Tell us about the stats, bro.
Do I need to play it? Do I need to play it?
Yeah, there you go.
Did you want to showcase any of the cool new things that Kid has ported that use new fancy things?
Do I need to send someone analysts? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Are we allowed? Well, would that be? Is that VOD proof? That's
You
the
can just turn
question.
the audio down and it should be fine.
No,
If
that
I remember
song
correctly,
was
it's a DJ
composed
Max
for a rhythm
song.
game.
I didn't hear that because Leros was speaking
Yes.
over you. Sorry.
As
The
usual.
song itself is from, I want to say, DJ Max Respect.
Yeah,
So it should be okay.
yeah, it was made for
Let me
a
go
rhythm
grab it.
game.
After I rummage through all these folders.
Okay. All right. I'm still waiting for. Come on, guys, give us some questions. You're all way too polite. It's like the first AMA we've done in like 18 months. Way too polite. Talk to us. Throw stuff at us. Do you want to? So a silly or
This was a silly one.
serious?
This is a silly one. I like the silly ones.
All right. So, what's your favourite type of pie, Jouse?
Ooh, I think an England meat pie, I guess.
A meat pie.
A meat pie. I like my meat pies, okay, lad?
Cube. What's your favourite type of pie?
Pumpkin for sweet, but for like I made a chana masala pot pie the other day, and it was one of the best things I've ever eaten.
Damn, nice.
Yeah, I also like pumpkin pie. Definitely like it when Dairy Queen does like the pumpkin pie blizzards in September near Canadian Thanksgiving. They're so good.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd have to go with the pumpkin pie.
You guys have
Pumpkin?
never had a meat
Wow,
pie.
okay.
They have never had a meat pie squirrel.
Well, I'm for savoury, I love my meat and tatty, or
Yeah.
meat and potato with gravy. And for sweet, I love a Bramley apple with blackberry. Usually over custard. That's a good one. Oh, let me
Make me
just
hungry.
change my I need to close my simulator and move over to dance now, don't I?
Oh wait.
So much effort.
So much ever, yeah.
Definitely need to fix the theme switching though.
What, you mean
It's
the
not
one
leaking.
pop up with fonts?
No, yeah, it's not leaking as much as it used to though, and it is coming down. I am watching it. But yeah, it's just the font pages, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the fonts being dumb.
Well, I can show one of the sciences, can't I? Isn't that
Yeah.
the one that goes up and down and makes everyone seasick? Thanks. How do I? Why are they pink? Oh,
Why aren't they
choice,
pink?
I suppose. That's a choice, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah. So how do I change the note skin?
Probably in general options.
Nope. Oh, there.
Note scan.
There's the note skin.
We're playing thanks, so we just need standard, don't we?
Yeah.
I want a pie now. Should I order a pie?
I don't know. You've got quite a wait if you want a raspberry pie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, kid, do you want to explain this one?
So, thanks is, you could consider it the second shader port. The first one was more proof of concept, but this one uses a shader for the background. That's how it gets this wavy, colorful effect. And it uses a second shader to sort of slide the screen around. Right now it's just going up, but soon it'll start going to the right, like that. But it's a neat little intro to what you can do with just a sprite and a shader. Here it's overlaying multiple different versions of the same sprite. It's just all done through a shader. Oh yeah, it does rotation too.
Yeah, this is the seasick one.
Yeah.
Oh, you want seasick? Oh, this is the seasick part. Scaling this is kind of hard to do because a lot of it is done in terms of texture coordinates, which goes from 0 to 1 instead of actual pixels. So I kind of have to start getting really creative with how things work.
Whoever did this is fired.
Do
I
what?
think this was I want to say this was Oatmeal's first file.
Is Kid fired?
Oh, no, I just mean like, just trying to make us sick.
Damn, I guess I'm gonna get fired out the window.
Oh, we
You're
got a question
kidding.
in just now from Maractus. What are the odds of commissioning artists for Serenity? I know artists usually come to you guys, and also I don't know how likely that is considering money and all, but I thought I'd bring up as an idea.
The Serenity packs are purely community. So commissioned artists would never be released in the Serenity packs because it would spoil the spirit of being a community pack. The moment money's involved, there's licensing and obligations and things like that, and it would encumber and ruin what Serenity is.
Those are
And I
the
don't want to
separate
do
packs,
that.
wouldn't they?
Yeah, I don't want to do that. We'd probably make a second generation of packs that run alongside Serenity. You aren't the first person to request that. We've got quite a few people lined up for paid packs. And again, we're not sure how we're going to do things. We may do them as a pay what you want type DLC on Steam, run them like, have a couple of bucks versus, a full price version for people that have got money that want to donate to the project. I don't know yet. It's honestly all up in the air. But down the line, yes, there are quite a few people that have approached us wanting to feature their music in the game officially, and I'm not going to tell them no when there's a lot of interest in extra content, and having a licensed collection for OutFox with different game modes in question would be amazing. So if we follow what we've done with Serenity, but looking at it from obviously supporting an artist's point of view, it's pretty good. But yeah, there will be nothing encumbering of Serenity, because it would make it difficult for us to, Serenity still semi-supports like older older SM5 builds and things, so it's sort of a bit of a tough one to sort of walk through. So yeah, I'm just trying to think what I can play here that's safe.
I DM'd you the link for analysts.
Me and you, we can play, can't we? Well, no, that's not either.
I think that's just on SoundCloud.
Me and you.
Yeah.
Well, if we talk over it, it should be okay. I don't think they're gonna. But this is actually a BMS mod file. I probably should play it in BMS, shouldn't I, really, rather than use Dance. But I've started it, so I'll finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be some like donation DLCs put up on Steam, because a lot of people want to support the project that may not have PayPal or whatever. They just want to do a one-off donation type support thing. And we can make a profile option for those folks that have done that, so they've got like a badge on their profile when the front end of the website's done, and we'll keep track of folk who have donated or have supported us in any way. So there's lots of stuff coming. It's just a case of we are a small group of people, unfortunately. So it's a bit of a case of taking a while to put all this into motion, because now obviously we've got get everything just polished, I guess, make it a proper product that people are going to be proud of to play and to share around and stuff like that. So I guess that would answer it. Maury put an answer to you as well, but yeah, it's exactly what I said. I don't want anything that would encumber Serenity, because it's not what Serenity is. It's not. No. Anyways, did we have any other questions in our server? Have we had anything? Discord's sort of died for me.
There is still nothing.
Nothing. Well, we would have had a lot more, I think, from Steam if it had made it like sort of public, but because we didn't get that moderation. So I think for the next one we're going to have to do it like way longer in advance, so it gives their mods time to moderate
Approve it and
us,
everything.
I don't know. It's just really weird. Like I'm looking at it right now. It just still says we're still being moderated, and there's no visibility of the There's no visibility of the post, which is why I don't think many people joined us. Yeah, it's not showing up on our game page, either the playtest or so yeah, that's, I think a lot of people just wouldn't have been reminded, which is a bit of a sad. It's a bit of a sad thing, actually. I'm quite sad about that, but it's all good. Those of you that have joined us are pretty cool. You know, I'm happy to talk to you guys, and we can always link the VOD with Lero interrupting the intro, so we can mark him for later. All right, so serious or silly? I've got one more serious from my collection, or I've got like 4 more silly ones. You stand silent.
Feeling a little silly, so let's go for a silly question.
Serious, then the silly stuff, Yuki says. All right, we'll do the last serious question. I guess it's a me question. How are we going to manage Steam moving forward? Is the question that was asked by quite a few of our Steam players. So I'll just give an overview of what we're going to do with Steam moving forward. At the moment, the Steam player base, which is, you know, you folks and everyone else, obviously it's not in the chat, but the player base is around about 1,300 people. It's quite a wedge, which I was also surprised about. They've been extremely open and cordial, which is amazing. But they've given us the most feedback that we've had for quite a while. So we're going to ensure that almost weekly, I'd say, weekly to fortnightly, we'll push a build, depending on the level of like changes in it. Valve doesn't really have like a regulation on how we push up builds and updates and things like that, but I don't want to obviously go too crazy because you guys will just be patching all the time. So you know, I'm even thinking of just keeping it to a monthly, or if there's a big patch that we have to hotfix, you know, do a hotfix build and then move from there. But there'll be you know, most of the newer features will probably be on Steam first, because you guys will be reporting back quicker than our player base in the server. And we'll probably be looking at releasing 41 to the wider general public as well, because 4.19 just needs to be sunset and move on, and we need to just move away from Alpha 4. And yeah, I think we've got probably 2 more Alpha 4 builds left, maybe, and then we're just going to completely focus on Alpha 5. So I've got to have a chat with the team on, you know, what they want to do, but I think that's the plan forward. I think that's probably the safest plan for us, as we're only a small development team anyway, and you know, none of us gets paid. It'd be lovely, but no, we don't, unfortunately. So it's a case of working within our means and ensuring that, you know, the game continues to be developed and can pay for its costs.
Kind of the opposite. We pay to be able to work on it.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't cost me that much. It doesn't cost me that much overall. I'm out of pocket for sure, but it's not like as much as I was expecting at this point in time. Because we have, you know, Cube supports it as well, and we've had other things. You know, I'm sure you've seen us at PAX and TwitchCon, which is pretty cool. We'll have to post up some photos. You'll have to post some photos up, Cube, on our community, so you can show off the booth and stuff on our Steam.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, it's going to just be coming from strength to strength as we mature. It's a case now of we've got almost all the hard work done internally. I've got a few more bits and pieces I want to do. So has Joust.
Yeah.
So scoring, we've just got to unshackle the engine from being a DDR game. and that's been the biggest challenge. And we're almost there. So games will actually start acting like they are independent games rather than it being just tacked onto a Stepmania engine. And yeah, we know, we've been hearing you, and we know the scoring's balked. We know that there's bits and pieces that need to be fixed. It's not a case of we're not going to do it. It's a case of a lot of this engine has been following a piece of string with knots on, getting clues and solving mysteries on how to do A before B before C. So it's taken a lot longer than we were expecting. But otherwise, we've made good progress, and overall we're 2.5 years behind where we wanted to be. But I'm still happy with the direction and the progress that we've made. So, okay, we'll do some silly questions, and let's hope the chat's got some questions for us. Put the questions in the chat. It can be anything. Right, silly. Favorite color of M&M? Cube?
I don't know.
Wait,
Green.
don't they all taste the same?
Green,
Green. Okay.
because the commercials.
My God. Kid?
I'll just choose red because my favorite color is red.
All right. Jose?
Either blue or the green. Although they all taste the same though. What the-
I don't know. It was asked. Joust, what's your favorite color?
Orange.
Is there an orange M&M?
I think so.
There is now. I used to have one of those. No. I used to have one of those plastic M&M toys, and it was the orange one.
All right. Okay. Mine would be yellow, I guess. I think that would be the probably the highest one. All right.
Yuki Streams Games is asking favorite Bomani game.
Poppin' for me.
You have to be more specific.
Poppin' 10 then. If you want, well, Poppin' 10 then Poppin' Music Portable 2. Because Poppin' Portable was amazing.
I'll have to say Pop and Portable, the first one.
Yeah. Kid?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but I remember liking Sound Voltex. A little bit of it I played, and DDR is also neat. I'm not good at it, but I think it's cool.
Well, DDR's a B-minor game, yeah.
Yeah.
Which DDR?
I want to say the one I played is
Has to be
might be
extreme.
Extreme.
Yeah, it has to be extreme.
Okay, that's good. Cube, what's your favorite B-minor game?
Probably in order: Musica, Beatstream, Nostalgia, then Poppin'.
Why is Poppin so low?
It's not low. Those other ones are just high too.
Still, it's below others. I don't like it.
You will like Poppin', or you will
You
be
like
assimilated.
Poppin or you die.
All right, I'll switch it. Musica, Poppin', Nostalgia, Beatstream. There we go.
Okay. Jose, favorite B-minor game?
That I have to have played.
No.
Okay,
No one
then
said
that
that.
would because the one that I have played but not physically would be Mania 2DX Blue Sky specifically. A
Blue
banger
Sky or
game.
Happy Sky?
Oh yeah, Happy Sky. I always fix it because it's a blue sky, but it's called Happy Sky. Let's mix it up. I always mix it up. But physically, it would have to be Extreme because we had to import that to the arcade before the Reckoning of Pump It Up inundated Mexico.
All right. No, next silly question then, as we've still got plenty of time. We've got funniest music game fail.
Funniest music
So,
game.
Poppin' Wonderland.
So, no. It's a story you need to tell, Cube. just because you've played Pop Music Wonderland doesn't mean that you get off.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So for me, my music game fail would be Pump It Up, Prime, guy, proper pump bro, you know, had the dodgy boxer shorts, you know, as in like the silky boxer style shorts, not like in his boxer shorts, but had his like flat shoes, baby powder, weird other powder that he used that polished the pads. Did his session, you know, obviously the 50p's are on the bottom of the screen queuing up, so he had to like finish his set, and then fat ass here walks onto the plaid, expecting it to have obviously been cleaned, because obviously, you know, good people clean their pads after a long session, and step on it. It's literally sheet ice. I go completely on my side, crack a rib, and I've got a permanent scar because I clipped the corner of the pump pad, and bled everywhere. So that the cab had to be shut for 2 hours while they basically cleaned it all up. And yeah, I guess that's my funniest, because obviously it wasn't funny for me at the time, but obviously looking back at it, it's funny now, you know. But it's just a you know, just a careful lesson of if you powder or if you polish the pads, you know, make sure that they're safe for the player following you. So who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Go on, Cube.
I was playing State Maniacs, and I was getting really frustrated trying to get, you know, a high score, and I was playing the same song over and over, and, you know, I just kept screwing up one spot. I got mad, and I went to go, like, just kind of hit the wall, like where I know there's a stud, just like a not like hard or anything, just like a frustration one, and I missed the stud and put a hole through the wall. And then I got mad because I broke the wall and I have to fix it, so I might as well make it worth it. So then I really broke it. And now it's a reminder. I just, whenever I get upset and I'm like playing it, it's like I just look at it and start laughing because it's just like was so silly. Like, so it's just a reminder, like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. So I left the hole in the wall. It's right next to the State Maniacs cab.
Juice, you got a story?
For me?
Mm-hmm.
I have to think. I don't think I actually do.
What, you have friends all 10 seasons, yeah?
Yeah, friends all 10 seasons. Like a funny mistake that I've made. That's a very good question related to rhythm games. They're not funny mistakes I've made, but
Did I? I've just realised something. The overlay's not working, is it? Did I douche? Did I douche the overlay? I haven't put anything over the top of it, but let's see if I. No, it just doesn't seem to be playing anything. Lero, why is the Discord overlay not working? Is it broken?
is Leo gone again?
Is there going? There's gone again. It's muted.
Yeah, he's gone again. That's it.
I'm not so sure what the Discord really could be doing right now. It's just supposed
That's
to
fine.
check.
Don't worry about it. Have you got a story? Well, Joust is thinking. Anyone? Jose, Kid?
Yeah, I do have one. Back in 2017, 16, I believe. I went to Cancun, and I went to this resort hotel and everything, and because of a marriage, and it turned out that they had an arcade area in it, and they happened to have a Pump It Up Prime machine. And I think it was Prime or was it Infinity one? I cannot remember. And being the good old me, being probably the only one who actually uses the machine, considering everyone else was just playing the old standard games in there, I went ahead and played a double. I think it was a D13, a D14, I don't remember. But the problem is that oftentimes with my shoes, I often get these I have these like foam like shoes,
which are meant to like slide easier. But the problem is that if you hit some kind of ledge, it snaps there. So the thing was, there was a section. It was a section of the song that I had to do a massive jump between both panels. I think it was just a up down left with the up down right between each panel, which is a long one, and you would usually just put your feet on right and your hands on the left one. But the problem is
Hmm.
that I hit a corner of the down right panel as I was trying to get to the other one, and I ended up splitting my legs.
Oh,
Ouch.
I had to just I had to be taken back to my room, and I couldn't actually move up much for the rest of the day because of that.
Yeah, I needed hospital for mine. It was pretty bad.
I have one that's less painful. Let me recount to you my first time playing Beat Mania Beastrover. So I walk up to the cab. It's like, well, I'll try playing this. I get through the like beginner mode stuff, and I think, all right, let's try playing something higher level. And I see Chewing Good, and I'm like, oh, I know this song. Someone made a file to that. I think it'll be all perfectly fine. I'm way in over my head. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like flailing my hands around. I can't read anything. It's a little funny at least.
It's just a case of like funny light. Oh,
Oh, I know I'm supposed to push the keys. There's just too much.
Are you you're not a 2DX enjoyer then? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not. I'm not big brain enough for 2DX.
It's still. Oh no, there it goes. It's finally working. I think you can see us. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Excellent. My God. Well, we're almost at the end of the chat, so but yeah, at least it's working now. I don't know why it stopped working. I think it was just being special.
Yeah, this technology thing will never catch on.
Yeah, indeed. All right. I think we've got time. Let's see. Has anyone else given questions? I'm just installing Analyst or whatever it's called.
My sugars are a bit low, so I need to eat a bit. I'll be right back.
All right.
He's not been doing it properly. You meant to eat as you hear. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
yeah, we're meant to eat. Yes.
Well, you know, I was off with family. I can't really stream while with family.
Well, you were eating with the grandmama, as I told them.
Yeah,
That's what you were doing.
it's a family gathering.
A family gathering. Ah, good.
Daniel, Classic V Mania is a funny game that definitely has no quirks at all when it comes to timing or trying to play songs at all, or using a controller that came with it or the arcade. Of course, there isn't anything wrong with it.
I
It's
still
like,
have the scars from my first time playing Beat Mania.
oh god, it's so funny. The way that I recently read about the way that it handles the timing window. It is so weird. Like, it's supposed to be it's a standard window, but there's also some mixes or some. It can be dependent on the song, and also some windows can be in between each others, despite being a wider window than the other. And there's also the fact that like there's a shift in the window after the first note, if I recall. I can't remember how much it was about, but
Yeah, it was quite bizarre, wasn't it? It was sort of like I couldn't work it out myself. And then you had like some songs with the bloody pedal and all sorts of other stuff, and it was just like,
oh, the pedal.
bruh. And yes, we do support the pedal for those of you who are BMS enjoyers and know what we're talking about.
Some song switch timing windows mid-song.
Yes, it can, I believe. Yeah, there are moments
Yeah,
when
we haven't got support for that just yet.
yeah, we could add it technically with the timing system we have in Lua, but I reckon it would be better if it's done like in the engine.
Why is
by
Player
a
2 not
file.
updating its note skin? There we go. I expect instant speed changes and.
Oh, the Visco's got a question. Here's one for Squirrel. When will the thing I may be implemented in the game?
We need proper theming for everything first, so quite a while away. I'll probably commission you for another chart before then, another song before then. Which one am I playing? Which difficulty am I playing, kid?
You could play probably just any one of them, but probably either the 8 or the 14. Just make sure both players are on the same difficulty.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is apparently something that exists.
It is something that exists, you're right.
Yeah, the Visco, can you actually DM me what the thing is? I do not have acquaintance about what the thing is.
You can tell him Davisco, it's fine.
You want to
I don't
talk
know,
about
what's-
what's going on here, kid?
Shaders. There's so many shaders going on here. Almost everything you're seeing except for the note field is a shader. Like, that Starfield background, that's a shader. There's a bloom being applied on the screen. I think there were some shaders being applied on the notes at some point. Making
now.
this work was really difficult.
Oh, it looks so sharp with the frame buffer though. Oh my god. I think my PC's just keeping up giving you a decent frame rate and quality through the stream actually.
It is kind of a heavy file, especially with this cube. Because that's a ray marching cube that I'm running at 100 FPS. And also 480p, because if I run it at more than that, it's gonna be really heavy.
How much is that? Like 236, 246? Kid.
Though I noticed some of the note shaders aren't being applied.
I believe this is the 2D note skin.
It should still work
Exactly.
even with a 2D note skin.
You didn't tell me to play it in 3D though, did you? Tough, you got note colours now, deal with it.
It should still work with a 2D note skin.
But yeah, kid, how come my MacBook can do this better than your computer?
Because
It's
my
like
GPU
ancient,
is
isn't it?
from like 2014, 2013.
Right.
Yeah, there's loads of mods that kids ported over from N-ITG. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, Crystallize is so good.
It's Camellia, so we should be okay for the.
Yeah, like anything Camellia should be perfectly fine on stream.
Yeah, should be alright then.
This one's just beautiful.
Don't we have more efficient ways of doing this chart now?
I think it's called I have to maybe try and lessen the draw size of this thing.
Yeah.
Because this thing draws a lot of notes. Probably even when it doesn't need to. Though I think some of it's probably just the holds being really heavy.
Yeah.
Did the profiler tell anything about the holds?
It's to do with the way that the texture's pulled through.
Ah, so it's textures. Really? It's just textures?
Mm-hmm.
That's the entire slowdown?
Yeah.
I thought it would have been all the mods.
No, not really.
Huh.
Biggest issue with the hold render is the way that it does. I should have 3D'd this again, shouldn't I? Oh well.
You sort of see the intended effect on the holds.
Yeah, it's because the hold is a different type of object than the sprite, so there's less GPU work.
It's technically, I guess, an actor multi-vertex in a way, isn't it?
Yeah,
If I remember, it's a quad AMV.
it is literally a quad AMV with its own, and it customizes and updates itself on the fly as well, which doesn't help. That's why they lag.
Mm.
Simple holds that Joust did was pretty good, but there's also another way that we can do them as well in OpenGL, which I might try and implement later.
Okay. Because, like, the only downside of the simple holds is that it's not good for mods.
Yeah.
It's because they're simple.
It's taking it would be taking simple hold and basically making them. Think of it as it being its own texture that you can render to, if that makes sense. We would have a hold buffer that you would be able to just do the hold in.
Ah.
So I've got to think about how we're going to do it, but yeah, there is an opportunity.
Maybe at some point I'll revisit this file and try and turn down.
It's still it still grinds, but it shouldn't.
The proxies probably don't help.
Mm-mm. Still pretty cool though. Modders are so creative.
They are.
But actually, as you're here, before we
When will kid
Just
port
ignore-
only kicks? Never.
just ignore that troll. Yeah, I don't know who that person is. You can actually talk about what we've done mod-wise, as you were missing from the beginning. I'll put another mod on. I don't know what can we do. Maze is Maze safe?
That's also a Camellia song.
So we can do Maze, can't we? Today, I think they go too much into the visual rather than the attack of note fields. Yeah, I tend to agree. There was a lot more flair in the early days.
I like the visual though.
I like both.
So what are we doing? Maze?
Yeah.
So you get to see frame buffer Maze, which is actually quite nice now.
Yeah, I think mainly I've just been working with options and debugging shaders and testing actor screen texture.
Mm-hmm.
Which also Analyst uses.
Oh, what else has been in the engine since we last did? We haven't done an AMA in like a year and a half, so it's quite a lot.
Might have to go open my Git client.
Use the fork, Luke.
I don't think we have fork on Linux. I don't think they ever made a Linux version.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I'm just using, what is it called? Gitty up.
Sounds like a dad joke.
It probably is.
Oh my.
I helped scroll fine tune the various like draw loops that go in the game. What else? And
Pretty arrows go burr.
Oh yeah.
I do need to get the updated version. Doesn't go out of bounds.
I can tell you why it goes out of bounds. And it has to do with the rotation point of the screen.
Oh.
Because what Windu, the mod file creator, was doing is they're actually rotating top screen.
Ah, okay.
And that kind of makes things scale a bit weirdly if you're on wider displays. So I had to use wrapper states to essentially change the point of rotation.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, I had to
Right.
set a default FOV on AFTs, otherwise they kind of trample over everything in this frame buffer world.
Yeah, well, we've got the new frame buffer system, haven't we? So.
And I think most of my attention was testing shaders and stuff and working on poptions.
Cool. Right, so we have about 10 minutes left. Any more questions from folks? Serious ones, obviously. Anything about the game you want to know before we wrap up for the night? I'll double check.
Oh, here's one. CC Freak. What was the biggest change in the last 18 months?
Oh, that is a good question. There's been so many.
The thing is, like, what can we consider biggest? Because, like, there were some tiny changes that affected a lot, like sound, or like small, big changes that didn't really do much. What could it be?
Are you talking about like code level, or you just generally like that impacted the most things, or?
Because like
Most
influential, most
visual,
or most visual?
whatever category you want.
I suppose we could give a couple from an engine point of view. With the help of our friends that lent us the profiling kit, we basically doubled the performance of the game. Then we had new frame buffer system, which fixes us on Mac, which was also quite important because that affects like the whole of our Mac player base.
It's also what made actor screen texture possible.
And the modding players, I guess, yeah. And then you've got like, obviously, you know, Joust writing shader manager for shaders affects quite a lot of things because it means there's lots of effects that can be done. new sound drivers, new input. I actually think adding the new modes have been the most influential over all the work that we've done over the last 3 years. Bucking the trend and not giving in to people that were naysaying about you're wasting your time adding the new modes, because the amount of bugs and bad play and crazy stuff that we've removed over the years, I think we've shaved about, I'd say easily 100,000 lines of code just because we've done that. So yeah, from my point of view, I would say it's being stubborn and adding the new modes. That would be the most influential change that we've done in OutFox compared to other forks, because of the fact is, like Poppin, for example, when we reinstated Poppin and BMU, or Beat as it's called on Stepmania 5, that uncovered an absolute incredible slew of bugs that we didn't even know existed. Like, we had to change all the parsers, we had to fix like song, there was loading issues, there was so much. And then we obviously fixed all the stuff, yeah, so for me, I think it's adding the new modes because of how that's changed how we view and work with the engine.
I think another big one is just the new dance theme, and not sticking to the old paradigms of what the theme and flow was, and being able to recreate, like, you know what, let's design the workflow how it should be, not what it is. And then if there's engine changes that need to happen to make it happen, that's later. Let's figure out how exactly it should be, then work that way. And that's just like a whole mindset that like really I think is influential and helpful. It's like, it's not there yet, but it's made a lot of progress so far, and it's cool not having to stick to, well, this is how it's been for 20 years, so it has to stay this way. And so that's another big one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Jose, what do you think?
Well, I could name it with the theme stuff since I'm the one who's actually writing it. Although this would be a case of like the artist always critiquing his work, because I would be like, everyone like likes the new theme, but I'm like, oh my god, no. But yeah, although like I have done the biggest thing, it would be the themes, specifically the Alpha 5 theme, because the fact is like, this is the biggest project I've ever done, considering all of the other themes I have done in the past decade. Because it's not only the theme, it's not only made from scratch, but it also introduces new frameworks, documentation for them as well, and doesn't actually go into, like you mentioned, it doesn't go to a paradigm. Well, or at least it attempts to not stick to a paradigm. I say this because there are still some elements that I try to still stick for, because, well, it's a dance theme. Like, dance players are gonna play it, and they come from existing themes. So they're gonna be like, what the hell do I do here? So there is that. The other biggest thing for me would be the dancing character system that I added for Alpha 5, which can't be shown here because we don't really have a character. We do have stages, but we don't have a character. But basically, that system came from me wanting to make a sequel to the system I had made before for a theme that ended up being used in other themes and over-engineered to madness, which I would find out years later. And I was like, no, no, let's go back to basics. And literally making the system in a week and being more flexible than the original that I had made. That would be the one that also I would consider biggest.
And we're talking 18 months. I mean, note fill preview. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Although that will be a Giles thing that he could explain about how that works, because it's kind of funny.
I think he's getting
I think he's
food.
He's
Oh, he
allergic
went to get
sugar.
food. Oh, right. Yeah,
Still like-
I guess I could explain that. The Death Note field was a funny one because of like we were talking about like having the Note people almost since the beginning of the project. But we were like, oh, how could we do this? How could we do that and everything? And it was like I had a prototype before. I was trying to make it directly into screen select music, but then Giles saw me trying to do it, and I was like, hold up, mate. Let me just touch it. And just make
suddenly
the
Death Note
entire
field existed.
yeah, like and literally the dev node field is literally just the node field class that's already here, but now it's an actor. Like, how more simple can you get? Like, it's so elegant.
Kid, what's your biggest one?
Honestly, I think the last 18 months would probably be working on the options branch. Because most everything I've been doing has sort of just been sanity checking stuff.
Although you want to talk about the time when you realize how the original player options looked like and everything that happened to needed to change to not make it
Player
bad.
So, Jouse's options branch uses an active mods list. It says this mod, let's say Dizzy. It's an active mod. It should be in this list, and that'll be what we focus on, whatever's in this list. Because right now, what the game does is it goes through every single mod for every column when it really doesn't need to.
It's a great original system that was previously. Because like you mentioned, like it just changed from like 40,000 lines to like just 2,000 because it just needs to do this based on that list of already enabled mods rather than iterating for everything. I'm still wondering how the hell the game would still run with that huge list.
Oh, like trash. That's
Well, I mean, yeah, but how the
Another thing is sign builds. We have a lot of OS support. No more like the Mac is a huge one over 18 months. Like I don't when like no more input setting hacking stuff. It just can work out the box now. M1
Oh,
support
yeah.
that was 18 months, right?
well, we were the first. We were the first.
M1
We were
game.
the first M1 game to support controllers. Yeah, because we actually helped Valve with the SDL implementation. Because they SDL had messed up the CMake and Jouse had done it a different way, which enabled the MFT driver that macOS uses on the M1 to initialize correctly. So we helped them with fixing that for Steam. But yeah, we were the first app to enable proper controller support, which is still a nice feather in our bow, actually. I was quite chuffed with that. I guess we've had so many little wins over the years, you sort of forget them, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the thing because we just like, okay, here's this thing and move to the next thing. We don't even
Yeah.
think about it because we're like, we just have this huge list of things we want to do for this game, and we just try to go this in a rapid fire succession in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Oh,
note
long
mod?
mines.
Cross-platform MIDI was another one.
Oh, not the MIDI, yes.
When did I?
Oh, and we have HID support. So
Yes.
you added HID, and I was able to actually write a driver for the new Pump It Up cabinets, because we have HID now. So we support the LX cabinets out the box.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
That's what the LX driver was the user space driver for the new Pump It Up cab.
Oh, cool.
I forgot about that.
Are Note mods 18 months? No, Note mods was quite a while ago. I think it's around 2 months, not 2 months, 2 years ago that I posted the original video.
The engine's not been in a state for a very long time to play it though. We've had to do a lot of optimization for it.
Honestly, once Options is finished, I'll actually feel very confident about bringing in all the mods I have left.
Mm-hmm. All right. Have we got any more questions before I end up wrapping up? But thank you for that question, CC Frig. It was a good one. Yeah, it's sort of, I guess, because we're facing this code base from time to time. We don't tend to look at the wins that we've had. You know, it's sort of a weird one. Any other questions before we call it? You know, I don't know when we're going to do another one. We probably should do more often, shouldn't we? Really, but I suck at doing social media stuff.
Are you having a good Easter? Asks Daniel.
Well, I've eaten too much chocolate and I already feel bad for it, so I guess so.
Yeah, I think I'm having an alright Easter.
At our local arcade, my friend was dressed up as Yoshi, handing out eggs.
That sounds funny.
Makes
You
way
call
more
the
sense than
police.
a bunny.
Well, hey, the Mario
how did
movie
you-
came
Why
out
is it a
recently.
bunny?
There's a South Park episode that explains it.
You know, I'm gonna look it up.
I think I need an adult.
Apparently originated among German Lutherans as kind of the equivalent to Santa Claus.
It's just spring equinox stuff, right?
Yeah.
Eggs and rabbits have been a symbol of fertility. Man, people are weird.
Yeah, they are. Right, so if we've got any more questions, otherwise I'm probably going to wrap this up. We'll be doing a Steam release of 41. Oh no, let me have a look at the date. When is it? Ugh. Probably next week. Yeah, I've got some spare time. Yeah, it's Easter Monday, so yeah, we can push a new build up. Wasapi, ASIO and Wasapi on Windows is a bit sketchy because of the code in the sound engine. It just can't handle the fact that it doesn't sit there and chomp on its buffer for ages. So we've got to put new code into the engine to fix the fact that it likes chomping on its buffer. You can use it, don't get me wrong, it's perfectly functional, but the game relies on math that's written from 1998 and doesn't understand how to work out the position of where the arrows are meant to be due to smaller buffer sizes. So we've got to fix that, so the arrows are a little bit stuttery. But if you're playing DTX, GDDM or POMU or BMU, it takes away all the latency. Like key sounds instantly have lost 15-20 milliseconds of latency straight away. So yeah, if you play anything with key sounds, including Tai as well, the RT driver takes away anything. To be honest with you, if you've got a Mac or a Linux PC, you're sorted because there's no problems with that. But yeah, on Windows, because of the stupid math, Wasapi's a bit weird. so it causes the arrows to have a tiny judder. But we'll default it to wave out because 99% of the people that play OutFox and Windows use dance anyway. So they're not actually going to be that interested in lag or latency. They'll prefer their, they'll expect their offset to be a specific amount, and so all is well with the world. But yeah, it fixes some stutters, and it fixes a massive latency issue on Mac OS as well. So if you're on Ventura, this is a big bug fix build actually. It's a pretty big one. So yeah, I think that was the only thing that was holding back the next build actually. But I'll probably add a port audio driver as well for real-time support, so you guys can chop and change as you need to. Port audio is good for a different set of devices, so I'll do my best to list what you should be using each driver for when I do the changelogs. So it's one of those read the changelog thingies. But those of you on Steam can just click the little gear and it'll show you when you download it anyway. So other than that, you guys have got anything else? No, I'll check for one last check for questions. I don't think we've got any. But yeah, thank you for joining us. If you missed anything or you think of anything else, obviously that we didn't answer in the video, just pop on our server and we'll get back to you. So from the team, I guess you guys can say goodbye if you like. And yeah, I'll wrap it up.
See ya.
Bye bye.
I'll see you
Thanks,
next
everyone.
time.
And it's good night from me and good night from them. And I will catch you all later on.